Welcome back to another video and another weigh-in update. If it is your first time here, my name is Beck. Thank you so much for joining me. So it hasn't been a full week since my last video, but it has been a full week since I've last weighed. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. So it is quite late on a Sunday evening, but I thought rather than doing it in the morning when I'm probably going to be a bit pressed for time because of work, I thought I've got to pick up Tasha at 11:30 so I would get it done tonight. So I'm a little bit all over the place because that's the kind of weekend I've had. I've had visitors. I've had a lovely day out today when we went to watch the football and we lost and Jeff's team won. But a lovely day nevertheless. So last week I did explain that I'm not doing any kind of plan. I'm just kind of going with the flow, trying to do my best and not restrict myself with anything, but not be overdoing things if I can help it, and then just allowing myself a little bit of everything in moderation. And last week I did really okay. I did okay. There was a loss of 2.2 pounds, I believe, and this week I have done exactly the same thing, and there have been days where I've allowed myself probably more days this week than I did last week, but there we are. This is the way I'm going. I'm just trying to live this healthy, balanced lifestyle at the moment, just because this is how I want the rest of my life to be. And it's something manageable, it's something that I feel I can keep up with, which I've chopped and changed a few times along the way, and I try not to do it too much, but sometimes you've just got to go with the flow, because otherwise if your head's not in it, then it's not going to be doing you any good either. And that's because I've only got around to replying to the comments today, and that's the thing that I've said to the most people, where they've said that they can't do it, or they're trying to do this kind of thing. I think sometimes it does help if your head is in it, absolutely. But also sometimes for me, my head wasn't in it when I first started. But then when you kind of keep it trickling over, sometimes you get that little boost that you need, or the little prompts that you need, something to just keep you on that right track and keep you a little bit more focused. So even though I'm not trying to be focused, I suppose in some ways I have been. Things like meal prepping, which I would love to do, but I am so not that organised person that can do that. I don't even go shopping once a week anymore. It's got to the point where, and I don't know why it happened to me, because I used to love going shopping. I used to love going to Tesco's, going to Aldi, wherever. I absolutely dread the day where I know now that I've got to go shopping. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to do things like click and collect or home deliveries. I'm never organised enough to do that either. I think what I need to do is set myself a couple of hours, and I talked about this last week. I'd love to set myself a couple of hours a day, or get myself up a little bit earlier. I did do it briefly. I haven't carried on with that, but I think it's something that I really need to look into, because a few days last week I did get up very early, and I don't know whether that's just the whole perimenopause thing where my sleep is a bit disrupted and that kind of thing. But I was up at 20 to 4 one morning, and I thought, was it 24, 25? Might be 20 to 5. I might be exaggerating slightly. And then I thought, do I go back to sleep now? And I thought, oh no, do you know what? By the time I tried to get back to sleep, it was nearly 6 o'clock. And then I thought, I'm going to be getting up in 25 minutes anyway, because my alarm set for 6:25. So I just thought, there's no point. So I didn't. I stayed awake, and I could have been productive, but I wasn't. And I think it's times like that where, when you set yourself a little target, I'm a terrible procrastinator. So I will put off until, and it's rubbed off on some of my kids, until I have to do something. So what I'd like to do is try and get into a routine where I'm not putting off things and I'm just doing. We'll see how that goes. So I think little notes to myself I need to do, and that's what I need to do. I'll have to do myself some little notes to me or whatever in my little notebooks, because I've got plenty of those. And in fact, my friend gave me one. Is it here? My friend gave me one. I'm just going to lean forward and hopefully not knock you over because I've lost my tripod. So she gave me this. It is my 5-minute journal. So she gave me this for my birthday, which is not until, oh, it's next week. It's my birthday next week. So this has just got some really good prompts and stuff like that in. And in fact, I'm not going to show you today because they're probably in her room, but I'm going to show you the books that Megan has done. In fact, it would have been ideal because some of them are student planners and some of you may have kids going back to school and you might be interested. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. Yeah, so this sort of thing, and it's got really good prompts, notes. I like this a lot. So this is from Tracy, who came to stay with me the other day. This is definitely going to come in handy. And what I'm going to do is write myself some little notes in that, because I do love a little notebook or a journal, and I do make use of them, sometimes in the short term, lots of times in the long term, excuse me. And I suppose I'm rambling a little bit now, so I'm just going to get on and tell you how I've done this week. Eating, not even intuitively, just balanced eating. Balanced eating, we call it, because that's what I've done. So I possibly haven't shared many of my meals from the last week, and it's not been anything crazy. It's not been anything too restrictive, I want to say. It's just been your normal run-of-the-mill, whatever that is, meals where I've just been trying to have slightly smaller portions. I'm still using the hints and tips that I've used along the way, where I'm still using the air fryer and sometimes fry light, but I do tend to cook a little bit more with olive oil if I fancy it these days. And I just don't like things cooked too much in fat anyway. I think that's my whole mindset, and that's probably the way that I will be going forward, because even though I know in my head that it's good fats, I still don't tend to use a lot of it anyway. Anyway, again, I digress. So this week, doing my little balanced eating, not a massive one, but I had a loss. I'm going to pop here so you can see that it was a pound, but I can't remember if it was a pound exactly or a little bit more. I'm not sure, but you'll see it here anyway. So it's still happening. I'm still going to carry on doing it. I don't expect to have any massive losses because generally I don't anyway, but if I'm doing this kind of thing, then I wouldn't expect to. But the fact that it's going down and I'm keeping chipping away, I am more than happy with that. So there we are. My weight obviously is lower again, because that's what happens when you lose a pound, I guess. And I'm just going to carry on doing what I'm doing, and that's it, the end. I actually was talking to Jeff about this the other day, or somebody, I think it was Jeff, and I said to him, I actually don't feel my best, and I don't know whether it's like a menopause tummy or a they talk about middle-aged spread. I'm actually having middle-aged spread. So my whole body shape feels like it's changed. And obviously it's changed anyway because I did put on weight. But I feel like I've got two tummies. So I've got one under my boobs and then a normal belly. But it's very uncomfortable, and hopefully that will slowly disappear. We live in hope. But it is what it is. And I've seen some lovely yoga Instagrams, and older lady Instagrams that I think I'm gonna have a little look and see, because I don't move a lot. I work obviously sitting down all day, and I do try and get myself out for a little walk, even if it's only for 10 minutes a day, on my little breaks, just for a little wander, just to keep a little bit active, because otherwise I'm not getting any steps in. So I'm going to have a little look at those Instagrams, have a little look at what exercises they've got, sort of stretchy things and bits to make you feel good mentally as well as physically. And I think that's kind of also another sort of road that I want to go down as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna carry on as I have been. I hope everybody is doing okay, and I will catch up with you all in the next one, which I'm slowly getting back into lovely little routines as well. So I've started uploading again, not regularly, but more than I have been, and I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for watching.